guys, so today we're going to be looking at more Am I Wrong stories. Yeah, let's just get right into the video. Am I wrong for calling my wife a jerk for telling our son's crush that our son likes her in front of his friends? That's mean. So she just exposed him like that. That's not very nice. I have 3 kids with my wife. Our son, who we'll call Sonny, is in grade 9. My wife has been asking him if he likes this girl in grade 10 called Tina, who he's been hanging out with. Sonny said it's not her who he likes, it's a different girl. A 9th grader who we'll call Chris. My wife asked Sonny if Chris knows. He said no and that it's a secret. My wife asked why. He said his friends will make fun of him. My wife asked why again. He said it's because Chris is the heaviest girl in their grade. She has terrible skin and she's a tomboy. On Saturday, Sonny had friends over. It was Sonny plus 5 other boys with Chris, Tina, and another girl. At one point, my wife just walks into the living room and she tells Chris that Sonny has a huge crush on her. It was so uncomfortable after that. Chris got up and just walked out of the house. The kids barely said anything and they left earlier than expected. Sonny didn't say anything to me nor his mum, but he made sure to slam every door he used. Later that night in bed, I called my wife a jerk. She said she was trying to prevent our son from becoming a bully. I told her there was a better way. Then she asked what if one of our daughters were in Chris's position. Then she asked me if we went to the same high school, would I hide my feelings for her? She ended up sleeping in the guest bedroom. Am I the asshole? But what does it mean by preventing their son Sonny from being a bully? He just wanted to keep it inside for now. What does that have to do with bullying? What? These kind of things, you let your kids deal with it themselves. You don't have to confess their feelings for them. What is that? She probably just ruined her own kid's love life, man. It would have went so well. But Chris is obviously humiliated because she's like, oh, well, why do you have to have someone else tell me? Do you know what I mean? Especially your mum. And then all the kids are probably laughing too. So she's going to be embarrassed. Man, the mum is a jerk. Yeah, she is. And there's a sad update, it says. The information is sad, and the fact that I had to hear about this from Tina's mum is sad. To nobody's surprise, Chris was indeed humiliated. Chris at first thought it was a cruel prank. Then when Sonny confirmed it, she questioned why his mum would announce it like that in front of all their friends. Sonny took the honest route, and he told Chris why he didn't want to tell her. Chris's feelings are hurt, and she says she can't like someone who was so embarrassed for people to know he likes her. So our son is even more upset with us. What my wife did showed my son in a bad light to most of his friends. Some of them think something is wrong with my wife mentally. Yeah, I would think that too. Like, why is your mum like that? Isn't your mum 40? Isn't she 40? Why is she acting like she's 15? The people who my son is talking to most about this situation are Tina and Tina's mum. That is sad. Yeah, the mum ruined everything. Obviously, Chris is going to think it was like a prank and they're making fun of her because everyone was probably laughing, right? It was probably like, Sonny has a crush on you, Chris. And then all the boys are laughing. Obviously, she's going to feel bad. She's going to be like, oh my God, you guys are playing a prank on me. And then now that she knows the truth, it hurts even more because she's like, you don't want to tell me you liked me because you're afraid your friends will laugh? Oh, seriously, that mom is so annoying. Am I wrong for saying that my brother-in-law and his future wife can't sleep in our bedroom while we host them on their honeymoon? Me and my husband are fortunate enough to live in an area of the world that is very beautiful and as a result frequently visited for the honeymoons. My brother-in-law and his soon-to-be wife are getting married in August and want to honeymoon in the area where my husband and I live. And they asked around a month ago if they could stay with us on their honeymoon. We agreed. They are family and are also tight on funds. We are happy to help and host them. However, they asked my husband last week if they could stay in our bedroom on their honeymoon. We have a 2-bedroom home and our guest room has an air mattress that is used for when friends' families stay. Otherwise, it is my work from home office, hence why we don't have a typical mattress in there. My brother-in-law didn't really get into the specifics of why they didn't want the guest bedroom or air mattress, but there just seemed to be, we don't think an air mattress is honeymoon appropriate. When my husband asked me about it, I was honest with him and said I wasn't comfortable with his brother and his new wife sleeping in our bed on their honeymoon. My husband agreed with me. Apparently, us saying no to this request has caused some issue in my husband's family, particularly with his sister, who's saying we should just let brother-in-law and his future wife stay in our room as it is their honeymoon and they shouldn't have to sleep on an air mattress. We love everyone in this scenario, especially brother-in-law and his future wife, and don't want to cause a rift, so my husband is sort of leaning towards the request. However, I'm not down to change my mind on this. It honestly really grosses me out because I believe that the reason they want a bedroom is so they can comfortably bang during the honeymoon on a regular, not air mattress. Oh no then. Nope, you cannot. I mean, if they want to do that, then they should just book a hotel. And it's not like this person is forcing them to stay. They're literally doing the brother-in-law and his future wife a favor, right? They're like, yeah, you guys can stay if you want, so you guys don't have to pay, right? But they don't have to stay. They can go. They can go somewhere else. They're not forced to stay. So why are they not choosing to stay somewhere else? Right? You're literally lucky that someone is allowing you to stay at their place for your honeymoon. Your honeymoon. Okay? So you should just take it. Seriously, if I was this person, I would not want a couple sleeping in my bed too. No. No, 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 no. Am I wrong for telling a woman at the gym that she's embarrassing herself? I go to the gym a lot. About 6-ish months ago, I noticed a woman I'll call Andrea. That's not her name, but will be for the rest of this post. I don't know if Andrea started going to the gym 6 months ago, or if that's just when I noticed her. Full disclosure, I spoke to her first, but I had no way of knowing what the result would be. A lot of machines at this gym have little entertainment systems attached to them that can access local channels. I got on a treadmill and realized the TV on the treadmill wasn't working. Andrea was walking past and I said, "Hey, do you know if there's an issue with the cable? This TV isn't working, but I don't know if it's just this one or all of them." She said the same thing happened to her on a different machine. I thanked her. That was the whole interaction. A week later, she asked me for some electrolyte powder for her water. I said I didn't have any. She was cool with that and asked me how long I'd been coming to the gym and what I did for work. I answered and returned her questions. She said she was new to the area and worked in private security. We had a few more chill conversations after that. 6 weeks ago, she asked me out. For reasons I won't get into here, I wasn't interested. I declined. She said not to worry about things being awkward at the gym if you don't work out. I said that wasn't the issue, just not looking to date right now. She kept talking to me, and at first I kept talking to her, but I started to think something might be wrong, and I started avoiding her. 2 weeks ago, she walks up to me while I was on a machine with only one way to properly dismount. That involved stepping to where she was standing. She asked if I was avoiding her. I said I was and apologized. I said I just don't want to date right now. She said I don't have to avoid her to not date her. I said okay. Yo, that's scary. This girl, man. Take a hint. He doesn't like you. Take a hint. He literally told her already, yeah, he's not interested in dating. But why is she still bothering him? If it was the other way around, yo, she would have been kicked out of the gym already. I kept avoiding her though. Tonight, while I was working out, she confronted me again about avoiding her. I had a bad day and told her to leave me alone. She asked me why I'm being such a prick, and I said because I wanted her to leave me alone. I then said she was embarrassing herself and needs to stop. She put her foot on top of the weights, and I thought she was going to press down on them. So I let go of the bar very quickly, causing the weights to slam and make a loud noise. Several people looked over. She's psycho. She can't take no for an answer. So like, she got rejected and now her ego is hurt, and she's like, why? Why don't you like me? Girl, stop being embarrassing. If he doesn't like you, it's not your problem. Alright? If someone does not like you, it's not your problem. They're just not into you. That's their problem. Why are you making it into your problem? It's not. Okay, always remember that you're amazing. If they don't like you, who cares? Someone else would. She said, now he's embarrassing himself, and walked away. Did I go too far by saying that? Do I owe her an apology? No. You don't. You don't owe anyone an apology for rejecting them. I mean, you can be like, sorry, I'm just not into you. Yeah, cool, right? But you don't have to. You can just be like, I'm not into you that way. But good luck. You know, good luck, you find someone else. And that could have been bad. She was stepping on the weights. That could have been bad. He should just report her and get her kicked out. Seriously, she should not be allowed in that gym anymore. What the hell? That's actually so scary. You just want to work out, trying to improve yourself mentally and physically. And then there's this person who just won't leave you alone when you told them to leave you alone. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.